Welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. At the outset, I'm extremely sorry I could not take for a few days. I was down with a viral fever. So let us start the session with the headlines. And as usual, we start with the snippets. The first one over here, stop making casual, biased remarks. There's one word, biased. What is the other word for bias? Prejudice. Prejudice, bias, they both mean the same. You treat someone differently based on a particular factor, and you don't treat that particular person in a fair manner, then we use the word showing prejudice or bias. An important word. Missile fired at Tel Aviv, no damage reported. Simple words, nothing to learn. And Congress seeks Modi's stance on remarks. Here we have seeks. Modi stands on remarks. There are two words. One is seek. We have got so many times. Seek, sought means what? To look for something, to search for something. And also, stance means a stand, the stand taken by a particular person. China's warning shots with vital minerals. It seems to be perfecting the restriction strategy. Simple words. Harmanpreet seeks success in T20 World Cup. Simple words. Let us go to the main headline and see what is there to learn. Here we have 57% turnout. Turnout means the number of people appearing for a particular event or a particular incident. Imagine there's a fashion show or elections or something else. A lot of people attend. And looking at the number, we say the turnout. The turnout was good, the turnout was bad, whatever. And you have to recollect, based on turnout, you have to recollect two important phrasal verbs. One is turn up. The other one is show up. Both mean the same. Turn up, show up. What do they mean? To appear. Large number of people, we use the expression turn out, and individual, we say turn up, show up. He did not turn up last evening. He did not show up last evening. Yes, that's right. 57% turnout in peaceful phase 2 polling in Jammu and Kashmir. Resolve strike at Samsung plant, says Mandavia. Resolve, an important word, but I'm sure you all know. Resolve is a verb. What is a noun form? Noun form is a resolution. Resolve your problems means what? Sort out your problems. Find solutions for your problems. Journal retracts paper by BHU on safety of Covaxin. Retract here means to take back. Retract something, to take back something. Here we have cloud-capped city, a dramatic picture. Dark clouds over the Ganga in Patna on Wednesday. Bihar has recorded a 28% deficit in rainfall this monsoon. There is one word, deficit. Usually we use this word when it comes to the budget. Imagine the budget, actual expenditure 100 crores, but we have 80. So there's a deficit of 20, then we say deficit budget. Here deficit rainfall. Coming to this one, special court in Karnataka orders Lokayukta investigation against CM, Chief Minister. China test fires intercontinental ballistic missile into the Pacific. All simple words. India in touch with Russia, Ukraine, says Jai Shankar, simple words. Coming to state news, in poll-bound Maharashtra, Modi to flag off Pune Metro. Flag off Pune Metro. To start Pune Metro, state poll-bound means elections are going to happen in that particular state. Coming to the main headline over here, CBI says false records were created in Kolkata rape and murder case. Grammar point of view, you have to know which tense it is. Try to respond. False records were created. Someone created false records, active voice. False records were created, passive voice. So it is in past tense, passive voice that you have to recollect. And here we have the reporting verb is in present tense. You have to recollect the rule. If the reporting verb is in present, present perfect or future, the tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense. Suspended Odisha police inspector to undergo narco test. Simple words, not. Let us go to the next one. After 5 days, Odisha police overpower man ensconced in a school demanding 100 crore. This is an important word, ensconce. Have you heard of this any time? Ensconce means to be at a particular place in a comfortable manner, to be comfortably placed, or to stay at a place comfortably. Then we use the word ensconced, an important word. Ensconced in a school means he has been staying there comfortably. An important word you should know. Sunil, I appreciate your response. EC panel to assess preparedness for polls in Maharashtra. SC orders release of YouTuber Savukku Shankar after Tamil Nadu government revokes detention. Simple words again. Hooliganism, safety concerns forcing us to stay away from DU polls, say women students. Delhi University elections, students' union elections, it is about that. Hooliganism, something like rowdyism, and also safety concerns forcing us to stay away from DU polls. They are not able to participate. Here, I am not afraid of Lokayukta probe, says Siddaramaiah. I am not afraid of. Usually we use the word afraid when we get scared. But sometimes what happens if you attend or you watch quiz programs, imagine the quiz master asks a question and the participants say something. The quiz master may say, I'm afraid, no. Then you may wonder why should he get afraid? But there it has a different connotation. When the quiz master says, I'm afraid, it is not correct. It means I'm sorry, it is not the correct answer. I'm afraid in that context means I'm sorry. That meaning one has to know. Otherwise, it results in confusion. Coming to the next one, swiftly resolved strike by Samsung workers. Swift means a quick, very fast. Swift movement means what? Fast movement. That's also an important word. Let us go to the next one. Adawela Babu held in sexual assault case, released on bail. Assault, physically attacking, one meaning, and I'm scared of Lokayukta. I'm scared. No, that means what? He is scared. But here, I'm not scared of Lokayukta, you can say, if you ask me. Who is that? Chandu's music. Have you got it? Both are different, Chandu. I have seen that. You can say, I'm afraid, I'm scared. You can also say, I'm not afraid, I'm not scared. Both mean the same. You can use the word scared, I'm not scared. Nothing wrong with that. And assault means one meaning physically attacking. Verbal attack also we can say assault. Women actor moves Kerala High Court for anticipatory bail. Anticipate, predict, think of the future. Stop making casual remarks in court that reveal communal or gender biases. There is one important word. Stop making casual remarks in court that reveal communal or gender biases. Reveal means what? To make public. Reveal, disclose, make public, divulge, and unveil. All these words you have to know. We have got many a time. Let us go to the next one, the last one perhaps. CPIM Kerala Secretariat censures Anwar, shields a CM political secretary. Shield here means a protect, and censure means to condemn publicly, to criticize severely. Both the words are important. Bangalore murder case, suspect found dead in Odisha. A sensational murder in Bangalore. A woman was chopped into 30 plus pieces and stored in a refrigerator. And the one who committed that cold-blooded murder committed suicide in Odisha. It talks about that. Not that important. Homicide. It's a case of homicide. Homicide. Side means what? Killing a person or a thing. So homicide, it is a case of homicide. I've just said that. Means what? One person killing another person, we say case of homicide. SE empathizes with those who lost homes in Maradu demolitions. Demolition and also empathize. Two important words. Demolish goes with the building. Destroy, demolish, pull down, bring down, tear down. All these you have to know. They go with a building. And raise also you can think of. Empathize, empathy, an important word. Empathy means what? Thinking from the other person's point of view. That is known as empathy. Empathize. Empathy is a noun, empathize is a verb form, an important word. Today at the workplace, they are looking at this particular thing, very important that way. Coming to the last headline for today, AP to ink pact with Karnataka to deploy Kamkis in wild elephant affected areas. So deploy, place in position to deal with wild elephants, I guess. That's all about the headlines, what is there to learn. There's so much to learn. When you go through the entire paper, only headlines, you can learn a lot of words and also you can consolidate your grammar knowledge. Now let us go to today's editorial, what it is about and how does it go. Today's editorial is all about elections in Jammu and Kashmir. To provide the backdrop information, to provide the outline, broad framework, it is about totally 3 phases, Jammu and Kashmir elections, 2 phases over, and against that backdrop, this has been written. And whenever you come across an editorial that deals with elections, you can easily guess what are the parties involved, who is in fray, and what are the manifestos, and what could be the mandate or the verdict of the public, and what are the problems to conduct the elections based on the background of the state, all these dimensions, and whether the national parties are going to make an impact or the regional parties. This editorial also touches all these dimensions. But the broad framework, this editorial starts with elections in Jammu and Kashmir, and major chunk deals with the manifesto, the promises made by the regional parties, 2 regional parties. After that, the editorial goes to the promises by the national parties, the BJP and the Congress. And finally, it ends on a particular note saying that there is no convergence because the political parties are scattered based on in the battle of power. This is a broad framework. And what is the enrichment? As usual, you improve your comprehension skill, vocab, grammar, effective English. For today, because I could not take for a few days, no mock test questions and no mini mock and no vocab. Tomorrow you're going to have. Let us go to the vocabulary part. The very first word, wow, part of speech, verb. To solemnly promise to do something. To pledge, you can also think of the word pledge. The leaders vowed to restore the statehood of the region if elected. Synonyms: pledged, promised, committed, swore. Antonyms: denied, renounced, refused. Important words, some of these words you have to remember. The second word, revoke. This is a legal term we have got many a time. Revoke, part of speech verb. To officially cancel something such as a law, order, or agreement. Look at the example. The new government has promised to revoke laws that restrict free speech. Revoke, we have got many a time. Cancel, this is an important word. Annul, repeal, rescind. All the three words you have to learn and remember. But based on this, I would like to give two words you have to know. First one is annals, and the second one chronicles. Both are synonyms. And the third one, archives. What do they mean? Annals, chronicles, chrono deals with time factor. Chronology, study of time. Chronometer, gadget that studies time scientifically. Here, coming to annals, chronicles, you make a note of events or incidents based on the time factor. You have to use two words, annals, chronicles. But you make a note of incidents or events, but not based on the time factor. You have to use the word archives. But archives has another meaning. What is the other meaning? Archives means a public place where government records are kept. There is a public place where government records are kept. That place is called archives. This is ANNUL, and this one is, you got to be careful with spelling. And you have to recollect an important idiomatic expression based on that. What is it? Null and void. Null and void means what? To make something ineffective, no longer functional. Antonyms: enact, implement, ratify, approve. This is an important word you have to know. Let us go to the next word, invoke. Invoke has two different meanings. One meaning of invoke, it is religious. You try to please gods or make gods appear, invoking gods. That is one meaning. But in this context, it's a legal term. Means what? To bring or make a law effective. To bring a law or to make a law effective. To call upon a law, authority, or right for support or justification. The government invoked emergency powers to handle the crisis. Invoked the powers means brought into power. Cite, call upon, appeal to, refer to. Ignore, waive, abandon, but not exactly the opposite words. Alienation, we have got a few times. Alienation means isolation. Usually it goes with, I give the combination, tribal alienation. Means what? Tribals are not part of the mainstream culture. They are isolated and they stay away from the mainstream culture. Then we use the expression tribal alienation. The feeling of being isolated or estranged from a group or activity. The alienation of the community worsened due to the government's harsh policies. Government's harsh policies, they got separated, moved away, that resulted in alienation. Isolation, estrangement. Estrange goes with, you have to recollect, the combination. Estranged a wife, estranged a husband, means they got separated. Antonyms: inclusion, integration, connection, belonging. Simple words. Mandate. I am sure you all know the word mandatory. Mandatory means what? Mandatory means compulsory. But here mandate, the verdict given by the people at the time of elections, We can use two words. One is mandate, the other one is a verdict. Exactly, electoral mandate. An official order or commission to do something, the authority granted to a government or official by voters. Exactly. The government was given a strong mandate to implement its economic policies. Authority, directive, command, instruction. A request, suggestion, a recommendation. Simple words. That's all about vocabulary part from today's editorial. Now let us go to the editorial. What is a stimulus? How does it start? Kashmir conflict. Conflict, an argument, a dispute, a fight for a long time, sometimes violent. We use the word conflict. On the Jammu and Kashmir elections. But what is the main idea? The political divide between national parties and regional parties is clear. And this is clear. What is clear here? The political divide between the national parties on the one hand and the regional parties on the other hand. That is clear. Then it has to talk about the same thing, justify the same idea. How does the editorial do that? The first two rounds of the three-phase Jammu and Kashmir elections have brought to the fore. Here it is, have brought to the fore. Present perfect active voice. But what does it mean? Have brought to the limelight. Have brought to the fore means have brought to the limelight, to the public. The contesting visions for the region between the national and regional parties, and between the national parties, the BJP and the Congress. So editorial talks about the political divide, the visions or the manifestos or the promises of the regional parties, the differences, and also the differences between the national parties, the two national parties, one the BJP, the other one the Congress. This is the first assembly election in 10 years and also the first after Jammu and Kashmir lost its statehood and special status in 2019. So about present elections, the exercise, this is the first after 10 years, one thing, and also the first after Jammu and Kashmir lost its statehood and special status in 2019. After that, first elections. The National Conference, now on, about 4 or 5 sentences talk about the promises of the regional parties, what exactly they said, and a common ground, and some differences here and there. The National Conference NC and the People's Democratic Party PDP have vowed to fight for the restoration of special status, especially bringing back Articles 370 and 335A. This is one point they have promised to do. Second, both parties have made identical promises on releasing jailed youth and withdrawing cases against them. Second point. They have also hinted at revoking laws such as the Public Safety Act PSA, often used to take locals into preventive detention. Detention means police custody in this context. And the Unlawful Activities of Prevention Act, frequently invoked against locals allegedly helping militants and separatists. All these are the various aspects of promises. First one regarding Articles 370 and 35A. Second thing about withdrawing cases against jailed youth and withdrawing cases against them. Third one about revoking 2 laws. And after that, the fourth one more dimension is there. Both have also promised to revisit the termination of hundreds of government employees on suspicion of supporting militancy and denial of passports and jobs to locals on the basis of adverse police reports. One more dimension. They are going to consider what? Revisit the termination of hundreds of government employees on suspicion of supporting militancy and the denial of passports, saying no or refusing denial of passports and jobs to locals on the basis of adverse police reports. Adverse means unfavorable, negative. You all know at the time of applying for a passport, there is police verification, and if the police, at the time of police verification, if the report is adverse, we will not get the passport. This is another dimension they have promised the regional parties. The issue of statehood and restarting dialogue with Pakistan are also central to the manifestos of these regional parties. One more thing. What is a manifesto? Manifesto we use at the time of elections. At the time of elections, a particular political party may come up with a lot of promises, and all these promises are in one particular document. That is what precisely we call manifesto of the party. On the question of statehood, all parties are in agreement, but the BJP, which is in power at the center, is still non-committal about the timeline. Coming to the statehood, all the parties are same stand, but coming to the BJP, it is non-committal regarding the timeline, when it is going to make it happen. The BJP has ruled out, there is one important phrasal verb. Try to guess the meaning. Rule out means what? Something is impossible. I usually give the example, the meeting between the management and the union is ruled out. Means what? It is not going to happen. Not possible, impossible. The BJP has ruled out the return of special status and Article 370, a clear stand taken by the BJP. It has turned that into a weapon against the Congress and the regional parties, which it blames for the alienation of Kashmir for the rest of India, from the rest of India. It's about the BJP stand regarding a return of special status and Article 370. Both are ruled out. And also the BJP party has turned that into a weapon against the Congress and the regional parties, which it blames for the alienation of Kashmir from the rest of India. The BJP fielded Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, among others, in its intense bid. Intense bid means what? Trying very seriously to win the mandate, means what? To win elections in the crucial union territory. The party succeeded in undoing the special status of Jammu and Kashmir, fulfilling one of the central pieces of its ideological program. The party has always used its position on Kashmir more as a mobilization of strategy elsewhere in the country. All these sentences talk about the BJP party. Coming to the last one, the party has always used its position on Kashmir more as a mobilization strategy elsewhere in the country. It used Kashmir issue as a mobilization strategy in other parts of the country. This time it is going to use the same strategy in Jammu and Kashmir. That is what next sentence says about the same thing. But this time, it is being tested in the place where it matters. Where does it matter? In Jammu and Kashmir? There itself it is going to test the same thing. Now coming to the Congress, the other party, the Congress which is contesting the election in alliance with the NC has been walking a tight rope. Has been walking. Answer my question, which tense is that? Has been walking, have been doing, present perfect continuous. But there's one important idiom over here. Alliance, coalition, association, very good. I appreciate that, Pravalika. Here, walk the tight rope, an important idiom, means balance opposing forces carefully. Walking a tightrope on the question of special status. So not easy to commit, then we say walking a tightrope. Its leader, Rahul Gandhi, has pledged to fight for Kashmir within and outside Parliament, but is silent on the tricky issue of Article 370. Ready to fight within the Parliament, outside the Parliament, but silent regarding Article 370. While he has accused the BJP of using Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor to centralize power and disempower the local political leadership, this is the allegation made by the Congress against the BJP. On the other hand, the BJP has sought to draw parallels between the Congress's agenda and that of Pakistan. This is the allegation made by the BJP against the Congress. They are trying to, it is part of the game, accuse each other, the national parties, the two parties, the BJP and the Congress. The battle for power has caused parties and other actors to drift away from any possible convergence. Now the main idea is being reiterated. There is a political divide and the idea is being reiterated. The battle for power, this is the reason, has caused, present perfect in active voice, has caused what? Parties and other actors to drift away, move away, get scattered from any possible convergence. Convergence means what? To meet, to come and meet at a particular point. We use the word convergence. That has been ruled out because they got drifted away. This is all about today's editorial related to polity, Indian polity, elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Let us go to questions to test your comprehension and listening skill. Read the first one and try to answer. What is a key issue that both the National Conference NC and the People's Democratic Party PDP are focusing on in their manifestos for Jammu and Kashmir elections? Increasing employment opportunities? No. Restoring statehood to Jammu and Kashmir. Restoring special status and Articles 370 and 35A. It is not B, it is C. C is the answer. Question number 2. Which of the following laws have the NC and PDP hinted at revoking if they come to power? It is not Citizenship Amendment Act, it is Public Safety Act PSA and Unlawful Activities Prevention Act UAPA. Answer is B. Yes, 1C, 2B. All is well. What is the stance of the BJP regarding the return of Jammu and Kashmir special status and Article 370? In favor? No. Has ruled out. I have already explained the meaning of the phrasal verb. Rule out means impossible. The BJP has ruled out the return of special status and Article 370. Which of the following is not a promise made by the regional parties, NC and PDP, in their manifestos? Releasing jailed youth and withdrawing cases against them, they mentioned. Initiating dialogue with Pakistan, mentioned. Revising the termination of government employees suspected of militancy support, mentioned. Strengthening central government control over local governance, not. Answer is C. No. Fourth one, answer is C. Look at the question. Not a promise made. They did not promise this one. Answer is C. What challenge is the BJP facing in the Jammu and Kashmir elections that it hasn't faced before in such a direct way? Lack of local leadership support? No. Testing its Kashmir stance within the region itself. Elsewhere it used, but now it is going to use and test the same thing in Kashmir itself. Strong international pressure? No. Opposition from the Congress? No. So what is the answer here? That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. And from tomorrow, as usual, I'm going to get the mock questions and also editorial vocabulary consolidation slide. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.